So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
TX2.
And we have some questions to say about their upcoming EP, Ghost of LA. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Thank you. I feel pretty good. It'll be my first ever like real group of songs together released. Because effectively, even though TX2's been here since like 2016, or I've been under that name, I don't think I've really been TX2 until the last 2 years, where I've just been releasing singles.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hyped.
Yeah,
You
it's very
fucking should be.
exciting. It's very exciting. Your team sent over one like announcement date for the EP, and then like 6 hours later, not even 6 3 hours later, they were like, "Oh wait, he's so excited he announced it right now."
yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna wait. It's time. I gotta put it out there.
Yeah, people got to know. But we got to check the EP out. It rocks. Very excited for
we
people
listened
to hear
through it.
We listened through it.
Oh my god, Black Wedding. I gotta fucking shake your hand for Black Wedding, man.
Thank you.
Crazy. Yeah, I fucking loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Hell yeah. So, is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Oh yeah. So the cover art. Okay, there's meaning behind both. The reason we call it Ghost of LA. I recently moved to LA. And I've met a lot of people in LA. That like one of the songs about this. And kind of like a lot of the themes of the album are about this, who kind of get like sucked into their dreams, and then they come out like as like shells of people, where it's like they're so focused on chasing a dream that they kind of like lose themselves in the chase. And I wrote a story front to back that takes a lot of parallels from my life that is what this EP is. It's technically a fictional story about a character who moves out to LA in chase of their dreams, but fails, and then makes a lot of similar decisions to me in my life, but like in a parallel dimension where different things happened. And then there's a car on the cover of this EP because that's part of the story. And like a very big event happens in this EP based off the car.
Okay. All right.
Hell yeah. I love it.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the EP?
Sure. So I think 2 or 3 of the songs from the EP, I wrote about my personal life and then just like interjected little bits of story. And then the other 3 songs were kind of like a fictional take on this character, once again with a lot of parallels in my life. Basically, I'll tell you kind of like the story of this EP. When is this coming out, by the way?
It'll come out closer to the EP.
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
so release day or after.
You can spill all the beans.
Yeah,
spill all the
we're
beans.
good.
All right. So the story of this EP is there is a closeted, obviously gay man who moves to LA in hopes of becoming a rock star and chasing their dreams. This is like why I moved to LA, is to like chase my dreams of being a musician. I'm bisexual. This character is gay. You see where we like kind of like change the story, right? So and this character ends up getting in a relationship with a girl because they're closeted. And I've known a lot of closeted people who are in relationships with girls, and he ends up getting the girl pregnant. And there's like parallels, but I don't want to get too far into it, where this character, so we're going to just talk about this character from now, not my life, but there's just a lot of parallels. This character gets the girl pregnant, and she wants to keep the baby. He doesn't want to keep it, but she has religious parents. And because of the religion of the girl and her family, they keep the baby, and they end up forcing the main character and the girl to get married. And the character starts to also like fail in his music career. And I used to say this thing where I was like very dead serious, where I will be making it in music or otherwise I'm not here anymore. And I'm so extreme with it. And the good news is I'm making it. So I feel like I'm here, but in this story, the character is not. And because of that, the character ends up spiraling because they're in an unhappy relationship. They're not themselves. They moved out to LA, and it kind of takes a lot of parallels with people I've seen in LA too, who are just like not themselves in chase of like a dream. And it's just not working. And so eventually this character just gives up on life. And that's something I've tried in the past before. And this is, instead of being unsuccessful, which I was, this character was successful. And the biggest thing I wanted to do, which the last song of the EP is called 6 Seconds Left, which I kind of like vividly describe exactly what is happening, and then the characters regret. I wrote that song after watching a documentary where there was several people who jumped off the Golden Gate and lived. And as you know, the probability of this is so low. But all of the few people who actually have lived that have all said that they regretted it the moment they jumped. And I wanted to like kind of like I wrote a poem about, you know, a character who or a person who goes through with an attempt and in the last 6 seconds, when it's too late, regrets it. And only when it's too late can you really regret it. And I think the big thing I want to do is I don't want to romanticize suicide at all. I need to make sure that, you know, if I have an audience of people who are going to like interpret this art, the one takeaway I want them to get is that they will regret it. And I think part of our goal with the song and the music video for 6 seconds left is that we need to make sure people know that it's a story of regret.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I do love the, all of the different, you know, things that you talk about and uplift, and, you know, you talk about the LGBT and the suicide all like within your music, and you're very vocal about those issues. And I appreciate that, you know, that there's people out there, you know, for this community and for these kids, you know, that are talking about these issues.
I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, that's my goal.
Love it. And, you know, talking about this world building and this story that this EP, you know, talks about, when did the idea for the story come about? Like, were you writing and you were like seeing these parallels and you're like, I'm going to make this concept? Did you go into this saying, I'm going to write an EP and it's going to be a concept EP? Like, where did the story come from?
Well, I knew eventually I wanted to release a batch of songs. And I think the first song I wrote was Degrade Me, which was it fits in with the EP in that this character's in a relationship where they're being degraded. But that was like some parallels to my own life in a relationship that I felt like I was experiencing. I wrote that song, and then we wrote another song, and then another song. And then we were like, okay, wait a second. What if I started like piecing these together into a story? And then the next 3 songs, I was like, okay, now I need to fill in holes of this story. And then it's been actually a whole process. Then I actually wrote a 21-page script with my best friend and guitarist Cam, and we created a short form content series that's going to tell the story of this EP and be released around the same time. We got like several actors involved. And then we have like a double music video. So 2 music videos we're going to be putting out that also tell the story in just more of a more cinematic way versus like the usual TikTok skit way. But we're trying to do all at once.
Okay. And that was going to be my question, like, because obviously, you know, some your successes come from the short form content. Like, were you going to build the story out with the short form? But you obviously answered that. But I guess my question now is like, how, as an artist, do you balance the two, like being the short form content creator and also being an artist? How do you balance that?
I think of my career as fighting for my life every day, and that I don't think I've taken a day off in the last 2 years. I've actually live streamed every single day for the last 2.5 years or so now. And just that I don't think I'm special. I don't think that I think there's so many other talented artists out there, and I think a talented artist is a dime a dozen. And I think the only thing I could offer is like what makes TX2 different than anybody else. I don't care about like the consequences. As long as I believe in what I'm doing, I will do something. So I'm like not trying to censor myself, but I also believe that I'm fighting for something. Number 2, I have to work every single day. I think part of it, I've been talking with my therapist a lot about this, is just that like I'm running away from problems, and it's an easy way to not deal with things in my life and rather just be busy all the time. But I mean, I actually was live streaming until 4 o'clock, so I went right from my live stream to this interview. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just like to, there's no reason. There will be no reason I don't make it, and then B, like, there's so many other people doing this. I gotta go hard. Like, otherwise, someone else will take the place.
Absolutely,
that's completely right. Yeah. Damn. Holy shit! Every day for the past 2 years. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's gotten to a point where I'm like, wow. I've live streamed every day. Like and I'm sure there's like at least 30 people of those live streams who've come every single day, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I respect the grind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Hell yeah. Awesome. So what song off this EP took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
I think 6 seconds left was both the longest for me to write and also my personal favorite. I definitely pulled my whole heart into writing 6 seconds left. Like I had a shroom trip the day before it. I had just finished BoJack Horseman. If you've ever watched that show, and then like the last episode, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
And then I just thought about how everybody regrets it. Like trigger warning, like unaliving yourself, right? I say things like this. Also, I guess I can just say suicide. But I had thought about how everybody will regret it. And then I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I have to be very authentic. And so I turned off my phone for a day up until like 7 p.m., where I had to do my live stream. Until then, I just watched a bunch of documentaries. I watched a lot of like intensely dark footage that you could just find on the internet that just brought me to this point of like, I need to write something that like makes like that really encompasses everything as authentically as I could. So I kind of got myself in this dark headspace where I was like, I am like not okay right now, and like everything is dark, and like what is the point of life? That's when I wrote the song. I captured that moment. I guess I kind of like for a day sacrificed my mental health, which I would not recommend people doing. But me, I was like, I'm gonna get so low and write something and capture that with like a camera for the art. And then, oh my God, it gets crazy. The stories around the song are crazy. So during the music video set too, I got so into character on one of the scenes. Well, first off, like I'm crying in the video, and that's like my actual tears. And then there's a scene where I'm like using my nails and I'm like pulling, and it's like actually my blood. I didn't realize that I was drawing blood until after we shot it, until someone showed me footage. But like I was like just at a point of like, I wasn't trying to do it. It wasn't like this was, I didn't go into it being like, oh, I'm gonna do it. But I had just gotten so into this headspace of like self-hatred, and that it's there. I know that there's like a dark, it's like if we're in a room, there's like a shadow in the corner of the room that's there with me at all times that I can try to just kind of like cover up. And I think I let it out for the song and for the video. I'm going to try not to do that ever again, because it's been like for the last few weeks, I've been really upset. But that's, but you know, the point being, I captured a moment that I don't ever want to have to recapture again.
Yeah. So when trying to write those more personal, darker songs, do you have to put yourself in that headspace? Do you have to be in that war zone to actually make that song?
Well, I don't know. I guess for me, I do. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, and I would not suggest it for anyone else. I think it's, I don't think it is, it's good. It's not to be like, it's not, I'm not a better artist for it at all. I think if anything, I just have problems, and I try to use my trauma however I can and make something out of it, because otherwise it's just a shadow in the room.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. For this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
Oh, dude, check this out. Coke off of a mattress, mirrors show the sadness. Originally, there was a word "cuz" connecting those sentences. Coke off a mattress, cuz mirrors show the sadness. And basically, like, for this song, I wrote from the perspective of a character who was actually someone I knew personally in my life. I was like kind of basing this one off too. Who refused to do coke off a mirror because they didn't want to look at themselves. So it's like they actually did coke off a mattress because it's like coke off them because you just don't want to look at yourself while you're doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
it's kind of nasty. That's like that's really nasty. I understand it.
Yeah.
But off a mattress.
Well, why off a mattress? Yeah, no. Believe it or not, there is someone out there who does that
just regularly.
Yeah, like every day they wake up and like out of bed.
Yeah, damn. Talk about wake and bake. That's not even fucking bake.
No. I'm not. No. Yeah. But I remember writing that and I'm like, oh, that's clever. I like it, and it works. Yeah. It's authentic. It's clever. It's dark. It's kind of gross.
Yeah,
that's why it works.
It's grimy, and that's why it's good.
Yeah. That's how I felt.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Awesome. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this EP?
All over the place. I think there's been like a overwhelming amount of happiness that comes from knowing that people have started to care about what I have to say, and that people listen. And I've been building along the whole process of my career. I've been building a movement of people called the X movement and we actually use Discord to communicate. We do voice chats every Tuesday, and there's a bunch of different channels for people to just vent and talk about their mental health. And I created this because when I was growing up, I never had a place to talk about my sexuality, my mental health. I just kind of like had to bottle everything up and just be a person. And I don't want anyone to be that way. I want people to feel like they have like a safe space they can come home to. So I built this Discord server. We're at over 10,000 members now of people who like take care of each other. And who have a safe space. And because of that, I get an overwhelming amount of like emails, people who are saying such nice things to me. And I'm like, dude, you know what? I used to wonder if there was any purpose in me being here. Like, why am I here? But it's given me purpose. I found purpose in helping people. So I feel happy about that as I see it grow and I see my career grow. I'm like, okay, I have a platform to actually do something with this. And I mean, the part of the whole reason I've also been chasing music so hard and working this hard is that I'm like, what is the point of life? I struggle with nihilism a lot, where I'm like, I don't understand anything. Why am I even here? But if I have one thing I can do with my life and help, if I can help a bunch of different people, I find meaning. So there's the good side. The bad side is I feel like I had to pull into a really dark place in order to get some of what I wanted in the music. And there's like damage from that. I have not been as happy in the last 2 months. I haven't had like a moment where I've been like, God, I mean, I'm happy to be alive. I got a house. I'm a successful musician, but like there hasn't been that moment of like I don't know. Something just turned. I just turned with something that I wish I didn't. But that's okay. That's life, I guess.
And does that worry you for the future, where like you will push yourself to the point where like you just like, it's not even that you burn yourself out, you just can't do it anymore because you like drive yourself like insane to a point?
Potentially. That's something I've considered. But then the one thing that keeps me here and keeps me like back at the end of the day is knowing that I can make a difference in people's lives. And that if I ever were to do something like stupid, then I would have negatively affecting other people. And so at this point, I have to be here for other people. And it's kind of like having a dog where you're like, I don't have a dog, but I understand why people have a dog now there's something to take care of every day. And there's something to like look forward to. So I feel like that is the one thing that keeps me grounded for sure. But sometimes I worry about that. Definitely. I remember. And it's weird. It's like a part of the inspiration behind this too. I wrote a song called I Would Hate Me Too. It went viral everywhere. And like, sure, like I get like the criticism is that it sounds like I'm bragging about things. But the whole point is, if you've ever heard Bullet by Hollywood Undead, do you know that song? Right.
I do not.
Oh, you know Hollywood Undead.
No, I'm not a big Hollywood
you guys don't.
Undead
Okay,
fan.
this is like the top of their discog, but it's a song that sounds very happy and it's about very, very dark things. And I wanted to create a song where it like basically sounds like what people think I am, like, oh, it's the rock star rock this, but then the lyrics are literally like, please God help me, like. And I remember like telling people, okay, this is what the song's about. I talked with record execs. I talked to some like big people in the music industry. I remember there's like a group of people that I had been working with at one point where I was like, oh, this is what the song's. And then everyone was like, that's great. Like, dude, rocking. Like, dude, you're a rock star. And I'm like, I could literally like be staring at you right now and tell you that I'm not okay. And I'm like a day away from just falling off the edge of the world. And you would just be like, bro,
you're a fucking rock star, man. You got this.
Come on, bro. Put that in the song. You know, people want to hear it. And so, I worried about that sometimes. But then, I right now I have my neighbor and best friend and guitarist Cam, who is like, you know, he's here every day. He comes over every day, 10 a.m. This guy shows up. He's working with me. Basically, he's part of the band. Now, he is part of the band now. This guy cares about me, and it feels like the kind of friendship, love, and family that I've been lacking. It's really nice to have him in my life, and I think he will also be part of what grounds me.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
You talk about, obviously the criticisms and whatnot on some of your videos. How, like, are you someone that reads the comments? Because, like, I go into the comments section on your videos and sometimes it is a war. Like, are you someone that reads it? Do you like internalize anything that you do happen to stumble upon?
I read all of the comments and I've seen everything. But I've been so used to being bullied and people saying things about me, and I just sometimes think like I have like an unlikable face where I'm so used to it. I laugh at the comments.
You're numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm so numb to it, like ridiculously, like to the point where I have a friend who is an artist who got like their first ever, like, well, not one of their first, but one of their first hate videos that went viral, and they were like calling me asking for advice. And I was like, this is the game. Like I can't tell you anything other than you just have to get used to it. Because I think it's a sign of success. If you're like the moment a band starts succeeding notoriously, everyone hates them. My Chemical Romance was one of the most hated bands at one point in their career. Green Day was one of the most hated. The list goes on and on of artists who are and the hate will always be in the growth stage of their career. So I'm like, I'm in the growth stage of my career. It's good.
Yeah.
But then one of my first ever music videos I released in high school, everybody told me to kill myself in the comment section. Well, not everybody, but like a group of kids thought it'd be funny to like create a bunch of different accounts and like be like, kill yourself at like 15 years old for the first.
Too much time on their hands.
Right. But the point being, that was my bread. And when I was 15, I could not stand the comment section. But since then, I've been getting kill yourself comments. So that I'm to the point where I'm like, sip my cup of coffee.
Yeah,
here they come in,
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Damn. Okay.
I get death threats too. That's the crazy thing. In my email, I get that like some people send me just crazy things, and I'm just another day of work.
Yeah, it's like, how do you're so sad that like that's what you're gonna spend your free time on, like sending artists fucking death threat emails, like go outside, touch grass.
Yeah,
it's clearly gone too far now.
I just feel bad for them. I feel really bad. Usually it's, I'm like, what kind of person would ever have to do? And then I always think about bullying, and like a lot of times fans will ask me like, what's your response to bullying? And for me, it's always like, it's always a form of projection. So if like you get the comments that are like, get a job, like your band's going out, they're probably in a band. And it's probably going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's like, all right, you're fat. They're probably have insecurity issues about their own weight. Someone who's like, you're gay. You're like, whatever. Okay, you're probably closeted. Do you know what I'm saying? Usually, and so that like anyone who's like saying things, I'm always like, oh, you probably have a really rough home life, and now you have to like project,
Yeah, I got you.
Absolutely.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in dark with headphones on? Is it workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
For the EP, it's a front to back listen. I think it's a story, front to back. And I think it is a listen at nighttime while you're driving, in your car, front to back. If you got a long drive, give it a listen front to back. I think definitely it has its waves and emotions for sure.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Melancholy.
Okay. Good last word.
Regret. Melancholy. Regret. Damn, it's a sad EP too. I'm like, is there any hope in it? Ghost.
Damn.
Nice.
Ghost of LA. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole song kind of, or EP fits around that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
I just hope, like, when I grew up, I didn't have like much of a family to be able to like talk about things that I was going through. They were really understanding of like my career and what I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. I also didn't have obviously a school. Like I didn't have too many friends in school growing up. So because of that, all I had was music. And I'm sure a lot of emo kids and people in the scene can relate to that. Even maybe you don't have to be emo to relate to that, I guess. But I just hope that people can recognize that whatever they're feeling they're not alone in that. Right. Like, cause that's the thing that helped me through middle school and high school was Gerard Way. like screaming on the microphone about things that were like, and I'm hoping that this can be that for someone else, where they can hear someone who is feeling something similar to them, and it could be like a voice of comfort in its own way.
I love that a lot.
Fuck yeah. That's really sweet. That's good as hell. All right. So are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this EP, positive or negative?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a combination of like tapping into like some sad. Every time I'd write something that felt really sad, I wanted to be sad in order to write and record it. And then the hardest part would always be like as soon as I either left the studio or sometimes I record in my closet the day after or all the time after I recorded. There's 2 songs on the EP that were really hard to like for the next 3 days. I was like, I'm just pissed and sad, and I started feeling alone a little bit, but then Cam was there. We love Cam.
Shout out Cam.
So I think that was pretty hard for me. But the rest was like kind of easy flowing. It was cool. I worked with Joey Barba, who's a producer I've been working with since like Pull the Plug, which was like when I first started having anybody listen to my music. And then I started working with a new producer, Matt Good, who did 6 Seconds Left, who was like he's an emo legend, and he like really like he captured the energy I wanted. And then Matt Malpass gave me a really sad song that when I worked with him, he's a producer as well, I remember I just came to the studio for the song Am I a Ghost? I came to the studio with him and Smart Death, if you know of him, or Mike, and we just were like sitting out smoking and talking about nihilism. And then I was like, I want a song that encompasses it. It was raining out. It's during the rainy part of LA. You know what I'm saying? When it's super rainy. And I was like, this is gonna be exactly what I wanted. And I just got sad and recorded it. And I didn't realize that song would be so great. Like now, every time I listen to that song, I get sad, which I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, it's what I wanted to happen.
Exactly, you did it.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I think I need to really like focus on like moving away from this phase of life and like, it's such a battle of like you have to be emo to write emo songs. You know what I'm saying? Like in order to, I don't know. I'm just a dude, you know.
Being emo is exhausting.
Yeah.
So
it is, right? Because you get in this headspace of like, sadness, and it's hard to get out of it sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you don't have to be sad to be emo.
You don't.
That is very true.
But you don't have a common pair, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So for this question, we want you to picture you're on tour, you had a gas station for a rest stop. What was your snack of choice?
Ooh. I like, dude, Swedish fish. I can't tell you why. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe they're Swedish, maybe they're fish, but something about them slaps.
Yeah.
And especially the healthy Swedish fish.
Because there's healthy Swedish fish?
What is
I've seen some. I've seen they're like, I don't know. It's like, you know how they like diet? I don't even know. I just feel guilty. I have some internal issues that probably make me feel guilty about eating sugar-free and stuff. But when I eat things that say healthy on them, I feel better.
Fair enough,
really,
dude. Swedish.
It's a whole other tangent.
No, you're good. It's a podcast. Swedish fish, Italian ice, fucking goes
Swedish
crazy.
Fish, What about Italian ice? Is that your drink? What do you?
What's your snack of choice?
What was my snack of choice? The dill pickle Lay's potato chips.
I just had some pickle chips today, actually. Thought about
it. I think I can get down with pickle chips.
Yeah.
Pickle chips, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. So on the topic of food, if your project was a dish, what dish would your project be and why?
Okay. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
An Italian dish with not enough cheese, where you're just mourning the loss of cheese, specifically like ravioli, but they didn't put the Parmesan cheese on. They just, you're like, it's an elegant dish, but it feels like it's missing a hole.
Why would you want that? What?
Because it's the emotion of sadness. it encompassed that I didn't get enough cheese. You know what I'm saying? But look, the dish is so good.
It's so
ravioli.
good.
Yeah, it's we're not look. I don't think ravioli without Parmesan cheese is worse. It's just missing something that makes it feel whole.
Damn. I don't know if I should applaud this or I don't know if I should be like, dude.
I know what you're thinking. You may be thinking to yourself, well, Italian dish without something feeling whole. Does this mean the EP is missing something? No. EP will make you feel like you're missing something, which is bad, I guess, which is not good. But maybe it'll make you feel whole. Maybe all you wanted was ravioli.
Maybe the listener is the cheese.
Maybe the listener is the cheese that needs to be added to the ravioli.
Holy shit. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. Now we're serving. Yeah.
Damn, serving. Shit.
What is I don't even know how to answer that otherwise. What's your favorite answer you've ever gotten to that question?
I can tell you what my least favorite answer is. It's
please don't say mine.
No, that'd be crazy. You're like yours.
Yeah. You literally should have just not spoken this entire interview. This entire time, we have been disappointed in your answers. You've been
crushing it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Donut holes and a milkshake from Wendy's or a Frosty.
My stomach is bubbling. It's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You feeling that?
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling
donut holes. I could I could pop them in, and I'm like, I don't even feel bad about eating things sugar now. I'm about to die. And then a Frosty. I mean, Mick, please, whatever.
Mick, please.
What did I say? Wendy's.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Wendy's.
Wait, Wendy's is Mick, please?
No. Wendy's is Wendy's is Frosties.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they say at Wendy's?
Here you go, fuckface.
Wow. What kind of Wendy's are you going to, Shane?
It's New Jersey, man.
New Jersey, the New Jersey Wendy's. They're crazy here.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. What did you say? Chocolate or vanilla? Fucking Frosty. Which one?
Or strawberry, or there's pumpkin now.
I don't give a fuck about the strawberry Frosty. If you say strawberry, you're getting kicked off.
Yeah, I'd say chocolate. Honestly, vanilla, I can make a milkshake at home. But now we've added a new element that potentially I couldn't make at home. I could still make it at home, but
I was gonna say, yeah.
But it sounds good when you make it at home.
Yeah, but it's I don't know.
It's cheaper when you make it at home.
It's cheaper, but and because it's cheaper, it tastes better for sure. Because I always, whenever I'm eating at home, I'm like, God damn, this $5 meal tastes so much better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Wendy's is still pretty cheap, right?
It's still pretty good,
so it still gets the cheap flavor,
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's made by a professional.
There you go. That's what they say. Fresh, never frozen.
Yeah,
that's what I say every day. Fresh, never frozen.
That's every day.
Every day, fresh, never frozen.
Never, not once.
Yeah.
So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Like, I was gonna say Mordor would be kind of cool. Like, we're talking like Lord of the Rings vibes, but then there's a lot of cons to that. So lots. See, and all the places I keep thinking are usually from like horror movie universe is not the place to be.
No.
Did you know how cool it would be to? Never mind. Because do I have to be me in the universe?
It depends on what universe it is.
Like Monsters Incorporated universe.
Oh, you'd be a monster. Yeah.
You know how fun that would be to
scare children.
Yeah. For a living, like a corporate job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Stable ass job. Mm-hmm.
That stable job. Okay. If not that, then that's it. That's it. Oh. No. That's it. What would you recommend? Like what? Like I know what would you guys say?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Why?
Why not?
What do you like? What part of that world entices you?
I'm not sure. I haven't read a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book in probably 10 years.
The fuck?
But something about hanging out with what's the dude's name? Greg,
don't even know his name.
Greg Heffley.
Greg Heffley.
Yeah,
he's a dick.
Cool.
Why would you want to hang out with him?
I don't know. him and his friend Rowley.
There you go.
I like Roderick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hang out with Roderick and all them. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair. I used to say Peaky Blinders because I love Cillian Murphy. But I feel like because I'm a woman, I don't think it would be that much fun for me.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I haven't seen that show. Do they have any is there progressive characters or no?
I mean, the women in the family in the circle are like super progressive, but it's like everyone in the show outside of those women don't really respect women. So it's kind of like if you're in the family, you're cool.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like, yeah. So I'm gonna say Frog and Toad.
Nice.
I haven't thought about that in probably 15 years.
Dude,
I think about it every day.
The SpongeBob universe. Are you shitting me?
Shit.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's any what's the worst thing that happens there? You can't even die. You can't even die in that universe.
No, you can't.
They've no insurance. I never see an insurance episodes. I don't even know if they have taxes in Bikini Bottom.
God knows.
Is there a god in Bikini Bottom?
No, that's actually a great question. What's the life like down there?
Is there religion? You tell me. Probably not politics or bad religion in the SpongeBob world. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, there's not one political thing in there. I didn't know elections, nothing.
I don't really think there's sexism in SpongeBob, is there? It's like you're
no. Sandy's just there.
Sandy's there and she's killing it.
Yeah, she has her own fucking house. She's a squirrel living underwater. No one.
That's crazy. I officially changed my answer to SpongeBob.
That's good.
SpongeBob.
All right.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So I'm going to ask the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
You know the answer.
Do I?
You know the answer.
I'm gonna have to disqualify it if it's what I think it is.
Why? Oh, because you're going to tell me it's not a color?
Because it's not a color.
What do you mean? Why do you... What's the closest thing to it, then?
Yeah, really, really dark gray is what I'll give you.
Really, really dark gray.
Really, really dark gray. Yeah. Oh, really, really dark gray.
I mean, what else am I supposed to say? I mean, red's good, but it's not black.
But red's a good goddamn color, though. It's fucking goth as hell.
Yeah, but it's not black.
I'm sorry. I don't let anyone win this discussion. I'm
sure most people say black, and then you just come over here and you tell them no.
I say
and then they pick a color.
Pick a real
and then we
color.
move on. This is the first time Glory's had to stand her ground for longer than 13 seconds.
It's actually crazy. You're the first.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting the foot down.
No, take that foot back up because it's not a fucking color.
The foot's down. Yeah,
no,
it's not moving.
We're agreeing to disagree. We're agreeing to disagree. Agreeing to disagree.
Right.
No,
black and red we'll give you because you said red too.
Love red. Great.
I like
great
red.
Pick.
I could settle with red.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let's do that.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just you guys. Thanks for having me today, and thanks for making time, asking great questions. Shout out Hopeless. Shout out my team. Shout out Eric German, Tim, Dione. Shout out Cam, my guy Cam. I love this man.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Donnie. Shout out Joey. Shout out Matt. Shout out all the people that are making this happen as well. Shout out the people. You tell me who they are.
The people.
Shout them out.
You know?
The people.
People.
All right. Well, thank you. Now it's been TX2, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.